When it comes to hand drums, like the congas or bongos, typically they should be tuned a fifth apart. These two are a little too close together in pitch for me, for my preferences. But you have different types of sounds you can make out of each drum. So we have a bass right across the center of the drum. And I do this motion of moving forward slightly. And then we have tone, where you bring your hand back and the edge of the drum is right here where your knuckles are. That's tone. And then you can slap. It's the same form, but you're really whipping your fingers against the instrument. And then the same thing over here. And then when you play back and forth, a lot of times your part will have low and high written into it. And you'll have your students make a sticking just the same way as they might on a snare drum. So if you go here, notice I did right. I started with my right, and I needed to hit here. So if I start with my left, have them work that out ahead of time so they know what their most efficient way to play is. The same thing if you have bongos, or if you have just one hand drum, like a djembe that you're holding while you're sitting. You have tone, slap, you have bass, tone, and slap there also. And remember, with something like that, you should make sure that the bottom of the drum is not resting on the ground, so that the sound and the air are going straight into the floor. Lift it up so that the sound will come out and the resonation is allowed to be free. So if you have a tubano drum in your elementary classroom that has legs on it already, that can set on the floor. That can be set on the floor and you can just play to your heart's content. But if you have a djembe drum, you're going to want to tuck that in your legs somehow so that the bottom part can be open. This one's kind of a cool hand drum. We're going to use it to talk about djembe technique. One thing to remember is to make sure that you're not setting the drum on the floor as you play. You can hear the sound difference here. That little rattle you're hearing is coming from this strap hook. I would probably tape that down or something if I was going to do a performance. So keep in mind also, tilt the drum away from yourself when you're going to play. And even though the sound's going to come out back here, that's all right, because your body is comfortable playing on this surface. And just like we talked about with conga or bongos, you have tone, slap, and bass. And you should be able to hear the difference on a larger djembe. Your students might have a tendency to want to tilt it this way, though. And that's going to cause tension in the back and in the wrists. It does make sense because the sound is going forward and it's easy to hold like that. Try to make sure they're reminded to hold it this angle instead.